Chapter 1: The Crash. The sky burned crimson as the alien vessel tore through Earth's atmosphere, its hull screaming against the friction of re-entry. Inside, Zarazel of the Voryx dynasty clutched her wounded side, her violet blood seeping between her fingers. Her ship had been attacked by scavengers in orbit, and now she was plummeting toward an uncharted backwater planet, Earth. The impact was brutal. Metal groaned, glass shattered, and Zarazel was thrown forward, her body screaming in protest. When she finally dragged herself from the wreckage, the twin moons of her homeworld were nowhere in sight. Instead, a single pale moon cast its glow over an endless expanse of towering trees. She was stranded. And worse, she was thirsty. Zarazel was Voryxian, a species that fed on the life essence of others. Not blood, not flesh, but the very energy that sustained living beings. Her people called it Cythera, the soul's breath. Without it, she would wither and die within days. Her fangs ached, her vision blurred. She needed to feed. Chapter 2: The Human. Daniel Mercer had always been a man of science, not superstition. So when he saw the streak of fire in the sky and heard the distant explosion, he didn't think aliens. He thought meteorite. Armed with a flashlight and his hiking gear, he trekked through the dense forest toward the crash site. The scent of burning metal filled the air, and as he pushed through the undergrowth, he saw it, a twisted silver ship unlike anything man-made. And then he saw her, pale skin shimmering with an iridescent sheen, long silver hair matted with violet blood. Her eyes, pupils slit like a cat's, locked onto his. Daniel froze. Zarazel lunged. Her body was weakened, but desperation made her fast. She slammed into him, knocking the breath from his lungs as they tumbled to the ground. Her fingers gripped his shoulders, her fangs bared. Then she hesitated. Humans were primitive, violent. She expected fear, screaming, a struggle. But Daniel didn't fight. Instead, he studied her. "You're hurt," he said, his voice steady. Zarazel's grip faltered. No prey had ever looked at her like this, not with terror but with curiosity, concern. Her body trembled. The thirst was unbearable. "I need," she gasped. Daniel's pulse thundered in his ears. He didn't understand what she was, but he saw the agony in her eyes. And then, he did the unthinkable. Slowly, deliberately, he tilted his head to the side, exposing his neck. "Take what you need," he whispered. Chapter 3: The Bond. Zarazel's mind reeled. No being had ever offered themselves willingly. The Voryx took by force, by cunning, never by choice. But the hunger was too much. Her fangs pierced his skin. Instead of the usual rush of stolen energy, something strange happened. A warmth spread through her, a connection, something deeper than mere sustenance. He pulled back, stunned. Daniel's breath was ragged, but he was alive. And he was smiling. Did that help?" he asked weakly. Zarazel touched her lips, her body already healing. You should be dead. Or at least unconscious." Daniel chuckled. "I've got a strong soul, I guess." She stared at him. This human was different. And now she could feel him. His heartbeat, his breath, his very essence intertwined with hers. Bond. Chapter 4: The Hunters. But their moment was shattered by the sound of engines. Zarazel's head snapped up. "They're here." "Who?" Daniel asked. "The ones who shot me down." Figures emerged from the trees. Armored mercenaries, their helmets scanning the area. Bounty hunters. They wanted her alive, but not for mercy. The Voryx were rare. Their energy-rich bodies prized by slavers and warlords. Daniel grabbed her arm. We have to go. They ran. Through the forest, over streams, Zarazel's strength returning with every step. But the hunters were relentless. Then, Daniel skidded to a halt. Cliff. No way forward. The hunters closed in, weapons humming to life. Zarazel bared her fangs. She would not be taken. But Daniel stepped in front of her. Stay back, he shouted. The lead hunter laughed. Pathetic human. Move or die. Daniel didn't flinch. And then Zarazel moved. In a blur, she was upon them. Her claws tore through armor. Her fangs drained their energy. One by one they fell. Silence. Daniel stared at her, breathless. You killed them. Zarazel wiped her mouth. They would have done worse to me. Daniel exhaled. Yeah, they would have. Chapter 5, The Choice. With the hunters dead, Zarazel could repair her ship. She could leave. But now there was Daniel. And the bond between them. Come with me, she said suddenly. Daniel blinked. What? My world, it's not like yours. But you're different. I've never met anyone like you. Daniel looked at the stars, then back at her. What about my life here? Zarazel hesitated. I don't know. Daniel smiled. Then I guess we'll figure it out. He took her hand. And as the ship ascended into the cosmos, Earth grew smaller behind them. Zarazel had come here dying of thirst. Now she had something worth living for. Continuation from Chapter 5, The Choice. The ship hummed as it broke through Earth's atmosphere, the blue glow of the planet shrinking behind them. Daniel pressed his hands against the observation window, his breath fogging the glass. I never thought I'd see space like this, he murmured. Zarazel stood beside him, her silver hair floating slightly in the artificial gravity. You gave up your world for me, she said, her voice softer than he'd ever heard it. Are you certain? Daniel turned to her, his eyes tracing the faint glow of her iridescent skin. I wasn't really living back there, just existing. But this, he gestured to the endless stars. This feels like a beginning. A warning chime echoed through the ship. Zarazel's eyes narrowed. We're being hailed. On the view screen, a massive Vorixian cruiser materialized, its obsidian hull bristling with weapons. A deep voice crackled through the comms. Zarazel of the Vorix dynasty. You are charged with treason against the High Sovereign. Surrender or be destroyed. Daniel's stomach dropped. What did you do? Zarazel's claws flexed. I refuse to feed on innocence. My own people branded me a traitor for it. The cruiser's plasma cannons glowed to life. Daniel grabbed the controls. Can we outrun them? No. Then we fight. Zarazel looked at him, stunned. You would die for a stranger. Daniel's grip tightened. You're not a stranger. Not anymore. She exhaled sharply, then slammed her hands onto the console. The ship's engines roared as she rerouted power to the thrusters. Hold on. The vessel lurched forward just as the cruiser fired. The blast grazed their hull, sending sparks flying. Alarms blared. Daniel gritted his teeth. We need a plan. Zarazel's eyes flickered with something dangerous. There's one place they won't follow us. She input coordinates, and the ship jumped. Space twisted around them. Daniel's vision blurred as they hurtled through a wormhole, the cruiser vanishing behind them. When the ship finally stabilized, they were no longer in known space. Before them loomed a black hole, its event horizon shimmering like liquid night. Daniel's blood ran cold. You've got to be kidding me. Zarazel's lips curled. The Vorix believe this is the Maw of the Forgotten, a place of no return. And we're going into it. Yes. The ship trembled as the black hole's gravity seized them. Daniel grabbed her hand. "If we die, I just want you to know, this was the best damn adventure of my life." Zarazel squeezed back. "We're not dying today." The ship plunged into the darkness. Epilogue Rebirth. Like. Daniel gasped as his vision cleared. They weren't dead. They were somewhere else. A planet unlike any he'd ever seen. Violet skies, crystalline forests, and twin suns casting golden rays over an alien city. Zarazel's breath hitched. The lost colony. What colony? She turned to him, her eyes alight. Legend. My people whispered of rebels who fled the sovereign's tyranny centuries ago. They were never found. A transmission crackled. Identify yourselves. On the view screen, a figure appeared. Tall, silver-skinned, with the same feline eyes as Zarazel. Her voice trembled. "Mother." The woman's stern expression shattered. "Zarazel." Daniel watched as mother and daughter reunited across the stars. And as the suns set over this strange new world, he realized his old life was gone, but his new one had only just begun.